Okay, so good morning. Our topic for today will be writing expressions with rational exponents as radicals and vice versa. Or radicals, you have to write it down to rational exponents. Vice versa lang, baliktaran. Okay. Of course, this will fall under the activity 6 of your quarter 3. And of course, this is your teacher, Sergey. Okay. So the first, we're going to review on, excuse me, the laws of exponent. This will fall under activity number 2 in your module. Number 1, we have x squared times x to the 4th power is equal to x 2 plus 4 is equal to x to the 6th power. You are going to add the exponents 2 plus 4. So this becomes x to the 6th power. Okay. Number 2, we have a to the 4th power divided by a squared equals a 4 minus 2 becomes a to the 2 power or a squared. You're going to subtract the exponents. Okay. 4 minus 2 becomes 2. So this becomes a squared. Subtract because you're going to subtract the exponents because you are using the operations of division. Plus the multiplication, just like this number 1, you're going to add the exponents. Okay. And then number 3, power to a power, we have x cubed raised to squared. Then you're going to multiply the exponent. This becomes x, 3 times 2 becomes x to the 6th power. You're going to multiply the exponents. Okay. And then we have number 4, example, a raised to negative 2. We are going to use the reciprocal of the whole term and use positive exponent. So since RA is over 1, so reciprocal of that is 1 over A. So 1 over A, and then you will transform this negative 2 into positive. So that becomes A, or 1 over A positive 2. Okay? The answer is 1 over A, then exponent of A becomes positive 2. Number 5, 29 raised to 0 power. Anything raised to 0 is equal to 1. Therefore, the answer of this number 5 is 1. Okay, let's proceed. Rational expressions to radical form. So from rational expressions, we are going to transform to radical form. Okay. So rational expression, just like this one, 25 raised to 1/2. The exponent is fraction, the rational expressions. Your number 1 remains the exponent. The number 2 denominator becomes the index. The index for your radical form. Then the base becomes the radical. Just like this example, radical form, the radical sign, and then your 2 denominator exponent becomes the index here. And then your base 25 becomes the radicand, and your 1 is or remains the exponent, which is invisible. 2 becomes the index, and then you put the radical sign. 25 base becomes the radicand under the radical sign. The exponent 1 remains here as the exponent of the 25. Okay? Okay. We have here our note. If your index is more than 2, you have to write it, and only 2 and 1 are indivisible. More than 2 is sulat yun, no? So we have this example, 3a, the exponent is 2/3. So 3a raised to 2/3 equal to, so ang a has the exponent of 2/3. So only a is our base for the radical sign. The radicand is a. Your 2 remains the exponent. And your denominator exponent becomes the index. And then 3 sa labas ng radical sign because only a is being raised by 2/3. Okay. Another example, we have open and close parenthesis ab raised to 3/4 equal to, so the whole of this ab, because of this open and close parenthesis being raised to 3/4, so the whole ab becomes your radicand. And then the 4 becomes the index, and 3 is always the exponent of AB. Another example, the whole of 3y, that is the open and close parenthesis 3y raised to 5/6 equals 2. So the whole of this will become your radicand 3y. And then the numerator of the exponent becomes your exponent over 3y. And then you put a radical sign, and then this denominator 6 becomes your index. Okay. Okay. So radical expression to exponential form. So copy the radicand, eliminate the radical sign, make the index as the denominator of the exponent. You have to copy the radicand, which is our base, eliminate the radical sign, make the index as the denominator of the exponent. That is writing radical expressions to exponential form. Example, square root of 169 equals, you copy the radicand, which is 169, copy, and then eliminate the radical sign. Tanggalin natin itong square root na radical sign. Make the index. Pila ang index? We have 2 here because invisible man, walang sinulat na number. So we will use this 2 as our what? Denominator of the exponent. And then the 1 here of 169, we will make that as your numerator for your fractional form exponent. Then your radical becomes the exponential form. Another example, we have this 5th root of 32 cube. 5th root of 32 cube, you have to copy the radicand 32 here, and then eliminate the radical sign. So tanggalin natin ito radical sign. We are going to use this 3 as our numerator over the index becomes the denominator of the exponent, which is 5. So radical nagiging exponential form na. This one, tanggalin lang ang radical sign, copyin ang radicand, which is our base 16. Then the 1 here becomes your numerator for the exponents as fraction. And then copy the 4th power which becomes your denominator of the exponent. So, na-eliminate na yung radical sign. So, this will be your exponential form. So, from this radical expression becomes exponential form. Our 4th root of 16 equals 16 raised to 1/4. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, and this will be our quiz to be submitted online. Number 1, you have to write the expression from rational to radical and vice versa. We're going to 1 to 5. We are going to transform these expressions into radical expression. This rational expression, we are going to use to write this one into radical expressions. And this one, radical, 6 to 10, the radical expression, we're going to write this one into rational expression or exponential form. Okay? So, you will submit this online tonight if you can. And if you have any questions, just send it to our GC. Okay. Thank you and see you next video.